Right then, so obviously Joseph Parker right now is one of the most talked about heavyweights, and in my opinion is one of the best in the world right now. 100% he's in the top four. And he's not being given fights. Obviously, last year he came off two big wins against Keane and Wilder, and now this year he's came off a massive win over Zili Zhang. He's now the WBO interim champ, and he's now not being given any fights. That like Turki Alalshikh isn't sticking him on a Saudi card. He's not being stuck on any card. It's weird to me, in my opinion, and he deserves to be on some big bloody card shows that Parker does. I don't understand why they couldn't have tried to squeeze a place on him for the Fury Usyk 2 card. I don't understand why that's not happened. I don't know why they couldn't have tried to get him on the Bivol versus Beterbiev card. I don't know why they couldn't try and get him on the AJ versus Dubois card. I don't know, but it's all strange to me. Joseph Parker seems fine to fight as well. It's not like he's out with an injury. Like, obviously, this was posted. Ariel Helwani put out, would have loved to see would have loved to have seen Joseph Parker on this card. Parker retweeted this. And I mean, he's in. He said, "Work with Big Uso, Johnny Bones. What a camp! Thank you." And the team Us. Don't know why he's training with this clown, but anyway, Joseph Parker's a great guy, though, if we're being real. And yeah, look, let's be real. He seems completely fine to fight. I mean, he's retweeting these as well. He very clearly wants to be back in there. Very clearly, he's retweeting this about possibly being in there with Daniel Dubois. Showing something again with John Jones. Retweeting another thing which Tony Bellew saying about a possible fight with Daniel Dubois. But right now, it looks like we are going to be seeing a rematch between Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois. So it doesn't look like Joseph Parker is going to be getting a shot at the IBF world title. And you would think, if they're keeping it this quiet, you'd be trying to find him a fight for the IBF title against Daniel Dubois. But clearly right now, that doesn't look like it's happening from what we're hearing about the AJ and Dubois rematch. And if you think about it logically, I mean, I think most fans would rather see Joseph Parker versus Daniel Dubois. And I'm a big AJ fan as well, but I think Dubois versus Parker is a really bloody intriguing fight stylistically. So I think Turki Alalshikh's kind of doing Joseph Parker pretty dirty here. And, he's leaving Parker out of these big cards when Parker, wants to fight and very clearly isn't injured and can fight. So I don't know. I don't know what's holding Turki Alalshikh back. Right now, the heavyweights, the best division in boxing right now, in my opinion. It's the best it's been in a very bloody long time. It's really talked about right now. And I don't understand why, no one's putting Joseph Parker's name into other fights. Like, we're hearing about something like Cavallel versus Martin Bacoli, Zili Zhang versus Martin Bacoli. But, we're not hearing Parker's name around any of the mix at all. I mean, at this point, I'd be happy to see Joseph Parker in there with someone like Justice Hooney in New Zealand or Australia. Like, at least try. I mean, because I still think that could be a decent fight. But, we need to ideally see Parker active. We don't just want to see him just fight once this year. We ideally want to see him again because of the role he's on right now, and activity is going to help Joseph Parker get even better and better and better. So right now, it doesn't help things at all that Joseph Parker is not fighting. And, there's been opportunities to put him on the card. On big cards. Why he is not on the Usyk Fury 2 card, I will never understand. I made a video about the card the other day. Like, you've got Isaac Lowley McGregor, Dennis McCann, Peter McGrail, Johnny Fisher, Dave Allen, Moses the Tomb Dempsey McKean, Alalshikh versus Israel Madrimov. You've got so much room for Joseph Parker. So much room. Like, take your Isaac Lowe versus Lee McGregor off the card. Stick Joseph Parker on there somewhere. take the Johnny Fisher and Dave Allen fight and stick it in the main event of a Copper Box Arena fight and do that and stick Joseph Parker on this card. I don't understand. Like, why is he not on it? Look, we're gonna go through the heavyweight rankings right now, and we're gonna see possible opponents for Joseph Parker. So, look, here we go. Obviously, Daniel Dubois is one that most people are talking about, but that's not happening next. Alalshikh Caballero, it looks like he's going to be fighting Martin Bacoli, so they're both out of the situation. Zili Zhang, I don't know what's going on with him right now. I don't know why he's there either. Don't know why he's 11th. But yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to be rematching. And ideally as well, I don't really want to see the rematch because I don't think their first fight was overly great. I mean, obviously Hrgovic is coming off a loss, but I mean, I wouldn't even mind seeing Parker versus Hrgovic, to be fair. I mean, obviously, I mentioned Justice Hooney versus Joseph Parker. That could be decent. Dillian White versus Joseph Parker, possibly. Yes, I know White's been an actor, but it's like, that's a fight that could interest Joseph Parker, a rematch against Dillian White, because obviously, Parker would want to try and redeem himself in that one, and I believe that is what he would do. So it's like that. I don't see any reason why that can't happen. I don't at all. I find, I feel like there could be options. Dillian White, possibly Filip Hrgovic, Justice Hooney, I feel like there's fights, like if Parker ideally needs to fight because Dubois fought recently, and then it looks like AJ versus Dubois is happening. Don't let Parker just sit out until that's over. Get Parker in the ring. Doesn't really matter who it's against. Get him up against Justice Hooney, as I said. I feel like that's a fight that could be easily made. I mean, you've got F.A. Ajaba. Like, could that be a possible one for Joseph Parker? I mean, again, like, I'd want to see Joseph Parker in there with any top guy at this point, to be honest with you. But as I said, I think the Dillian White fight could make sense. That's too far down the rankings now. But it's like, I just feel like Joseph Parker is being done a bit dirty here, to be honest. I do. I feel like, I don't see any reason why he can't be on these big cards like the Usyk Fury one. I don't see, there's no excuse to why he's not on that card. Parker's retweeting tweets saying that, he clearly is eager to be back and wants to be on that card. So I don't know why it's not happening. I don't know what's holding Turki Alalshikh and Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren for, putting him on these cards. But, right now, Parker's stock is high, and having Parker inactive, it's just gonna ruin the stock. Parker's stock's at an all-time high right now. If you keep him inactive, then it's just gonna ruin everything, and it could ruin a streak. Activity is key in boxing. It is key in boxing. And, it's not Parker's fault at all. I don't blame him for it. Clearly, he wants to fight. But, it's the whole politics around boxing. But ever since Turki Alalshikh came in, that hasn't seemed to be a problem. But with Joseph Parker right now, it just seems to be difficult to get him on a card. And there are fights for him. And people like Filip Hrgovic might not be ready. You've got the Saudi money there. I think he'd be happy to take it. You've got Dillian White in a bad position in his career right now. I'm sure he'd happily take money, the Saudi money, of course, to fight someone he's already beaten, even though we'd lose to Joseph Parker in the rematch 100%. But again, Dillian White would surely take that one. I don't get it. In my opinion, Dillian White's one of the most game heavyweights there are out there. He's never going to duck a fight. Joseph Parker is one of the most game heavyweights out there as well. Never, ever, ever going to duck a fight. Put them in there together. It would just be good to see Parker redeem himself from one of his losses and then get back in there with, the winner of AJ and Dubois and fight for the title. Or get in there, or, have a fight with Hrgovic, or if you really have to, rematch Zili Zhang. Obviously, Fabio Wardley's name's being thrown around with Joseph Parker. But right now, I just don't think that makes sense for either. I think Justice Hooney can make more sense for Parker. I wouldn't mind seeing it like in December or something, seeing Parker and Justice Hooney in New Zealand or Australia. Like that would be completely fine with me. We just need to see Joseph Parker fight by the end of this year, but it's looking increasingly unlikely. And Parker deserves justice. He deserves to be on these Saudi cards, especially as I said, I wouldn't mind seeing him on New Zealand or fighting in New Zealand or Australia, but ideally a Saudi card, because right now Joseph Parker is one of Saudi's biggest stars right now, in my opinion, 100% with everything that he's done. His name's never been bigger than it is right now. Don't let the stop fall off. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, Keels. Anyway, peace out.